A few years ago, I was briefly with a girl who told me she couldn't have orgasms during sex because of a previous trauma. I should have married her. Finally, a girl does an orgasm when we bang, and it's not my fault. I asked her if she even enjoyed sex, and she said she did for how it makes the dude feel, but that she still basically wanted it to be over as fast as possible. I was like, oh, I'm your guy. Could anyone be more perfect? This woman was tailor-made to cover all my inadequacies, and I let that shit go. I have a 50-50 track record when it comes to satisfying the ladies. They're all different, and the same things don't work on all of them, which is super lame if you ask me. It's on an individual level. If there's a girl I can do it for, I do it every time. But if there's a girl I can't, it's never happening. So it's fun to talk to girls because when shit gets brought up the first time, they'll be like, "Are you gonna satisfy me?" And I'm like, "Flip a coin, baby." Which I understand, it's just part of my game balance. You can't have me get too OP or every competing dude in the world is like, "Bro, nerf this guy." I'm honest with girls, though. I don't pretend I'm all that in a bag of flavored condoms. It's fun to have things start getting hot and heavy, only to cool their jets with a maybe. Can you go all night? Sure, if we start at 11:45. It's officially morning at 12:01, right? I mean, if all night is what you want, I'm excited to try. I will do my Boy Scout best, but I can barely play video games till 3, and that doesn't empty my balls and throw out my back. If I go to the gym for 20 minutes, I'm like, job well done, report back to base. If you expect me to do package push-ups for any length of time, be ready to mend my broken wrists. I might be a Chad, but I'm still a gamer. The only pain I like during sex is in my joints. I don't know how dudes last so long sometimes. I imagine it's a healthy cocktail of gross thoughts and Novocaine. Dentists must be amazing at sex. They just stick the needle in their ding-dongs and go searching for cavities. As a guy, you're really expected to do whatever it takes not to finish, and a normal suggestion is to think of the worst thoughts you can to turn yourself off. It's gotta be such a dichotomy between the girl thinking, "Oh my god, yes, this feels so good," and the guy thinking, "My mom is dead and there are worms eating her corpse." I don't know how to think about anything other than what is currently happening. Sex is a gift. I'm not trying to be somewhere else mentally. Of course, it's a gift. What's length is ultimately determined by my ability to be somewhere else mentally, but yeah, good luck. I remember one time I made my grand entrance from behind, and literally half a minute later I stopped paying attention for a second and did one thrust too many and could only freeze in horror as the denizens of my testicles were unleashed by the millions as I knelt there helplessly with the color draining from my face. She felt me stop, and the first thing out of my mouth before she turned around was, "I'm so sorry," and we laughed. But like, you know what's better than 30 seconds of sex for both parties involved? Any larger amount of time than that. Imagine being like, "Yes, this is happening, I'm so excited, and it's over." It's eating one bite of your favorite food and then the rest goes in the dumpster. You can try and salvage it, but it's not really the same. I lost my virginity nearly a decade ago, but over the past couple years I did manage to find it again. I guess you could say it's been a while. Being a reclusive internet boy will have that side effect. I can look, but I can only touch myself. I don't really do that though unless I'm talking to someone who also is, like one of the homies. JK, I mean girls. And when there's no girl, aka currently, it's not really an urge. There's just nothing in it for me if I'm not being seen. That's how you know I was born to be a star, like Bradley Cooper minus the hanging himself. Despite my second chance at virginity, though, I am back on Tinder again, as if that'll fix it. If your Giga Chad perception of me hasn't been shattered already, I typically don't do well on dating apps, despite being omega hot and hilarious. For some reason, I just never match with the people who match with me, and Tinder's recently updated some shit and made it so the blurry photos they show of the people who've already liked you are even blurrier now so you can't cheat and look for matching silhouettes. The number of profiles who've liked me is actually surprisingly high this time around, but after a week of not finding any of them, swiping left or right, I can only assume they all live on the planet Vegeta. I've still only ever met one person in my life from Tinder, and that's the girl I apologized to earlier in the video, so I guess it worked out and also didn't. Tinder bios are still ripe as ever with comedic confusion. You can tell some people haven't changed theirs in years. Every time I see one that mentions Trump, whether for or against, I'm like, damn, how about you refresh the Wikipedia page on live, because we're past that shit. Why don't you tell me how you feel about J. Edgar Hoover while you're at it? Sometimes I see profiles that are just of nature or a fucking school bus, no person at all in the pictures, and the bio is like, "If we match, I'll show you what I look like." Who would ever bother? With thousands of women presenting themselves as human beings in a way your eyeballs can immediately recognize, who's that curious? I'm gonna take a chance. I sure hope the raccoon meme swiped right on me. Odds are it's a 13-year-old treating Tinder like Omegle with a stock photo of Emma Stone at the ready when people inquire about their appearance. Lately, I keep seeing girls who have tremendous eyelashes. Not good, Just large and in charge of their entire face. The kind that look heavy, like they can barely keep their eyes open. Is that really fetching to anyone? She was amazing, bro. We had such a wonderful time, and after she kissed me goodnight, she flapped her lashes and flew away. If you have bigger eyelashes, are you more intimidating to other women? Is it a survival thing? Like those lizards that open the frills on their necks to scare predators? Pencil-thin eyebrows is another one. I'd rather you have a real unibrow than two sketches of one. Those eyebrows look like a first draft. When are you going to fill in the rest of it? Some girls' foreheads are like a printer that ran out of ink. I do feel like I'm falling out of touch with what the current 30 and under crowd views as hot, either based on TikTok trends or just wacky plastic surgery, lip injections, zoomer Botox. It's super off-putting. Some girls will put a clown's worth of makeup on to create a face that shines like a hubcap. Combine that with falcon wing eyelashes, Wolverine fingernails, and a pair of lips you could grab onto to save yourself from drowning, and you've got this living doll that looks actually inhuman. It Chapter 3 is just going to be a zoomer TikToker in a sewer, except I'm the only one who will be afraid of it. They might as well be alien. I don't feel kinship with them as a species, and it makes me uncomfortable that I can be so detached from them spiritually. With makeup, a little goes a long way for me, man, and a lot goes backwards in the other direction, not to mention what a humongous waste of money that is to do every day. Makes my Genshin pulls look downright insignificant in comparison. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you did, to show YouTube your support and make them recommend it more. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/SunburnedAlbino, and I'll see you guys next time.